Okay, so we covered science through PE. Now we're going back to language arts and math. We'll see how long language arts takes me. I might split it up and do another video for math. Let me first talk about the first half of our school year. So over last summer, I was so pumped to start our first year of school. I did so much research. I printed so many different pieces of information and curriculum from all over the place. Teachers Pay Teachers, Pinterest, everywhere. We also did Confessions of a Homeschooler for pre-K and K4. That's where this stuff comes from. And we loved it. But my kids were already done with it. So when my son was ready to start his kindergarten year, I had a lot more things to pull together. So I thought, oh, I'll just like piece it together. It's kindergarten. It's not going to be that difficult. Well, I spent all summer printing and cutting and laminating. And when we started school in August, my son flew through everything that I had created. And I was hoping it was going to last us the whole school year, maybe half a school year. But yeah, he finished it in like a month and a half. And I was distraught. I was excited for him and proud of him for being so on top of everything. But I was also very sad because I knew I would have to put more extra work into making all of that crazy stuff. And I didn't want to do it. It took away time from family, and quality time is my love language. So it was not fun for me. It was fun, but it was also miserable. And I decided I don't want to do that again. I need a curriculum that's just laid out for me, and I don't have to do much prep work on the outside because I can't do full-time teacher. And so I needed to find something that worked for us. So thankfully we were doing co-op, so I didn't really have to worry about a lot of the other areas. And I did find ways to keep him entertained while I was and learning, while I was trying to research and figure out the curriculum that was best for us. So I highly recommend doing that now in the summer, so that way, even if you do decide to just piece together your kindergarten year at first, you'll have a better idea of what you want to go into for the future. Because you might end up like me and halfway through the year be scrambling to figure out what to do next because your son wants to be challenged, your son or daughter wants to be challenged, and you have nothing else to challenge them with. So after researching tons of different curriculums, I came across and decided upon The Good and the Beautiful. If you go to goodandbeautiful.com, they have tons of videos, and even you can download their level 1 through 5 English completely free, the whole course from levels 1 through 5 for free. And I did that even though my child wouldn't be in first grade learning. I did it just so I could see the content and see what was going to be learned, and I just fell in love with it. Now for us, I did want to have a Christian worldview base as our educational curriculum, because we daily talk about God here, and I thought it would be nice to weave that in to their curriculum. So the Good and the Beautiful does that, and it's not denomination specific to any denomination. It's just a general belief in God, and they mention it here and there in their curriculum. So if you don't want that for your curriculum, then I do recommend continuing to look elsewhere, but we've absolutely loved it. There are so many different aspects to the course that you get when you purchase it. So besides just the course book, you'll also get phonics cards, and these phonics cards go through to first grade. So they're learning, they're learning how to put, that is upside down. No, that's the right way. Different phonics sounds together. So this one is O-R, and how O-R says or, but it does also demonstrate how O-R says sometimes, like in work. And it also comes with this level K reader book, and in the course workbook, it prompts you when they can read certain sections in this. And separate from that, you have to buy... Now, they also do digital downloads. So if you don't want the physical copy, you can download a PDF version of these, a cute little handwriting book. And what I love about these is there's a little doodling section at the end of each page. So after they completed their work, they have this reward. And my children love doing writing because they love to do the doodling part. So it gets them motivated to do their work. Here, let me show you when that's done. My daughter was doing this. It's super cute. We love doing handwriting. Okay. Also, with the kindergarten coursework, you can purchase separately from their library. The Good and Beautiful has an amazing library. We love it so much. So for kindergarten, they have these box book sets from A to D. And in the course book, it will tell you when they're ready for these different levels. My daughter's on level B right now. And they have these adorable little books with beautiful illustrations. And at the beginning, you practice sight words and concepts that they should be learning at the stage that they're reading this and reviewing. And then it just has really cute pictures, lovely illustrations. They love getting to read a new book. So it comes with 10 in each box. My son, since he finished the kindergarten level, see, my daughter's 4 and she's already starting this. She's just finishing unit 2, I think. So my son can read from box D. This is one of his favorite books because of all of the beautiful illustrations in it, but especially this page because he's Mr. Science Guy. So these are beautiful, and they love when they can move on to the next set of the next box set. And like I said, there's 10 books in each one. So as they're learning, you can just say pick a new book, or they can pick one of their favorites. And then as they get past this stage, they can read this independently as well. So what does the excuse me, what does the course book look like? Let me get it real quick. It's just a simple spiral notebook. Like I said, you can buy a PDF version if you don't want to buy the physical copy. So this is our course book, and it has tons of wonderful things in here. Lots of art appreciation, which I love. It starts with, so before you can begin the kindergarten one, I recommend going to their website and taking their language arts assessment test. Have your child take the test, and you'll be able to figure out where they should begin. Have they learned their letter sounds and identify their letters? If they have, they can start the level K. If not, they have a K primer and other ones that are for younger kids that they can do while they are getting ready to start the level K1. So we didn't know about it when we were learning our letter sounds, and we started with Hooked on Phonics. That's how my kids began to start reading. My mom sent me her Hooked on Phonics box set from my youngest brother, and we just started with that, making sure we knew our letter sounds. And also from Confessions of a Homeschooler, we would practice learning our letter identification and letter sounds through that. So that really prepared us. We learned simple CVC words through the Hooked on Phonics, and so they were 100% ready to start this. My daughter, she went straight from the Hooked on Phonics into this book, and it flowed perfectly. My son, he was so ready for this because we didn't buy this until the second half of the year. So the first couple of lessons in here were so easy for him. He was flying through it. So we would kind of double up on a couple of lessons because I wanted him to finish this around the end of the school year, and he did. He just finished last week. Very excited about that. He was. And then towards the end, he was learning about, in this book, verbs and nouns, and when to identify the different kinds of to, like T-O, T-O-O, and T-W-O. Just things that are advanced for kindergarten, in my opinion. And he just has absolutely loved it. They've enjoyed it so much. There's some art projects in here, just a little bit. So many different things in here that we've just, it's been a joy to do. I don't have to do all the crazy prep work I was doing before. All I do is open the book to the page, and it tells me exactly what I should be telling the child. We check it off as we go along. They do their work. My daughter does one lesson a day. It works perfectly for us. There's poem memorization in here. They're doing spelling practice in here. It's not how you normally think of spelling practice is when you write it down a whole bunch of times. There's sight word practice in here. The spelling practice is just kind of put in through here in a very clever and easygoing way. So it's not like, oh, spelling. It's very low key. So that's been a joy to do. They're learning all sorts of wonderful things in here that I probably wouldn't have been realizing I should do with them, but that they were definitely ready for, and my daughter is still going through it, so it's an easy pace for her. Being 4, she's able to keep up in this level K very easily. It's just wonderful. I can't say enough good things about it because we've enjoyed it so much. I've already gotten first grade The Good and the Beautiful for my son, and first grade books from the first level books from their library. So he's really excited to move on with it. He was also starting at the end of this book. They were doing creative writing workshops. And he loved that. Though he doesn't really enjoy writing so much because he can be so lazy. But sometimes I would write it for him and he would dictate. So that way his creative juices were flowing and we were still in the creative workshop mind frame, but I would write it down for him for those things. Because they can only write so much when they're that little, and I didn't want it to hinder him from having that creative mindset. There's spots in here where they fill in. This is how they kind of work in their spelling. They will practice things like this over and over again to where they're writing it over and over again and not even realize they're practicing spelling. And my daughter just did a test where I said, I asked her to spell for me certain words, and she didn't miss a beat. There were words like that are her sight words, like girl and sky. Let's see, actually, here's the list. Girl, love, you, her, cry, one, are, look. So she told me all of those from memory when I asked her to spell them for me. So it's wonderful. We love it. I'll do another video for math. And yeah, we just love the good and the beautiful. Can't talk about it enough.